Yo, what's going on? So, y'all enjoying Battlefield 6? I know I am. This game is actually fucking insane. I love it. Having a great time playing the game. I'm a Call of Duty player at heart. And when I made my transition to Battlefield, I was like, man, this game is fantastic, but the controls are actual dog water, right? So Battlefield games on console have always had wonky control. You always have to go through the settings and adjust all the damn sliders. The problem with Battlefield 6 is there's a slider for a slider for a slider, and you need a goddamn master's degree. You gotta do research on Reddit and watch YouTube videos left and right. And listen, I'm gonna try to make this video short, sweet. I'm gonna try to do my best to explain shit. I'm not exclusive ace. I'm not drifter. I'm not these professionals that are gonna give you all these coding, um, analytics and shit like that. This is just me, a Call of Duty player. I play on dynamic stick and move in Call of Duty. I did my best to replicate that feeling, that fluidity, and I think I've nailed it. When I play Call of Duty, I like my controls to be, smooth, snappy, slow when I need to be slow, fast when I need to be fast. And I think I've kind of nailed it. At the end of this video, when you're done watching, you can go to the video description. I'll have all the adjustments in the video description, plus adjustments to your HUD, color profiles, your audio, and button mapping. So let's just, let's get the more important things out the way. Let's go to options. Once you go to the control tab, you're gonna press triangle. From there, you're gonna go to control settings, hit edit, Infantry Aim Sensitivity. This controls everything beneath it. Leave this at 40. When I'm done with the controls, when I'm done with the adjustments, I'll tell you what you can do to micro adjust everything to your liking. We're going to keep this at 40. FOV, this is personal preference. I sit close to my big TV. I like 90. I sometimes crank it up to 95. I don't know how you kids do it at 120. God bless you. I do 90. 90 works for me. Vertical aim ratio, vertical zoom ratio, I keep mine at 56. This is what works for me, right? You want the controls to be responsive and a little slower when you're ADSing. You don't want the same ADS speed when you're aiming down sight that you have when you're not aiming down sight. So 56. I suggest not going past 56. 50 to 56 is where it's at from my testing, my experience. Uniform infantry aiming, turn this dog water option off. Completely fucking useless. Infantry aim assist, never adjust this. Never adjust this. Infantry aim assist slowdown. Now this is where the game's gonna feel a lot better. Lower this to 75. So what this game does, there's a kind of like a box or a circle surrounding your opponents, and when you're ADSing and your crosshair, your red dot enters that circle or box, the game your aiming slows down, which is fine. It's what you want to do. That's what aim assist is for, right? The problem is at 100% it's way too strong. Okay, if you're into a room and there's like five people you're aiming at, you're gonna have a hard time killing them all because it's gonna feel like your right stick's fighting against you. Lower this to a value of 70 to 75. 75 is what works for me. You're still gonna get the slowdown. The aim assist still exists, but it's not fighting your stick anymore. Do not lower this. If you lower this to anything lower than 100, this value is gonna change despite what this number says. So if this is 90, then this is 75% of 90% aim assist. So you don't want your aim assist to actually be off. You want it to be cranked all the way, but you want the slowdown to be to be more lenient. 100, 75. Trust me. Okay, so yeah, all these different input curves, and while you can't go wrong with standard, standard's a little too like it's not it's smooth, but then it's not snappy when I need to be snappy. Battlefield 3 is the closest thing Battlefield 6 has, uh, curve wise, to Call of Duty's dynamic curve. Dynamic curve, in the simplest of terms, is it's slow when you want it to be slow, fast when you want it to be fast. Yes, this game did introduce in the last update its own dynamic curve, but it's horrible. On the bottom right, that's a dynamic curve. I don't know what kindergarten graduate fucking drew that. It's horrible. Battlefield 3, trust me, BF3, BF3, BF3. Aiming left, right, acceleration. Okay, this is an interesting option. I know people are very against acceleration, but in Battlefield games, it just kind of works. Start the value of 25, work your way down. This, I feel, is such a horribly worded option because it tells you select preferred infantry aim input curve while zoom for controller, right? This doesn't just affect when you're aiming down sight. It affects your hipfire aim too, despite what that says on the screen. I have tested all different numbers, 10, 15, 20, etc., all the way to 100. 25. Start at 25, work your way down. I feel 20 to 25 is the hot spot. 0, it's a little too responsive to the point where it's going to fuck your aim up a little bit. 25 is where it's at. It's still responsive, and don't let the word acceleration confuse you. I think this option should be renamed to smoothing because acceleration, it kind of ramps up. This doesn't really do that per se. It kind of just makes your aim, makes your right stick feel smoother. So start at 25, work your way down. Double tap crouch for sprint to slide. Turn this off. This allows you to slide with just one button press, right? A steady scope. If you're a sniper or use high zoom optics, put it on toggle so you don't have to actually hold the stick down to hold your breath. Never change this. I understand you have all these sliders and shit. Keep this at 100. You don't ever need to adjust this. Zoom, transition, sensitivity, smoothing. Turn this shit off. This is where you make micro adjustments, right? I suggest from 1 all the way to 2.50, lower it to 60. And as the zooms get higher, crank it up in intervals of 5 or 10. So from 3.0 all the way to 4.0, I'm at 74.5, I'm at 75, etc. Right? I don't really use anything higher than 1.0 and 1.25, right? And I sometimes, depending on the gun I'm using, if I'm using like a DMR or some shit, I might crank it up to 4.0. But for the most part, keep this at 100 and do micro adjustments here, and adjust in intervals of 5 or 10. Okay, keep it simple. You don't got to too damn much. We're gonna press circle, get out of there. We're gonna come all the way down here. We're gonna go to controller tuning, right? Turn vibration off. Just turn that shit off, man. Vibration is gonna fuck your aim up. It's cool in single player games. It's immersive, etc. Whatever. Turn that the triggers off. That's such a stupid fucking technology. I don't understand why you would want the triggers to fight back when you're playing the game. This is gonna be tricky. So you want your center dead zone and axial dead zone on the left and right stick as close to 0 as possible. Okay. I suggest lowering these to 0 initially. And if you have any type of stick drift, crank it up to 1. Crank these two options up in intervals of 1 till you get no stick drift. You want them as low as possible though. Max input threshold is 70. Okay. Max input threshold, right? I love the wording on this, is how far you have to actually move or press a button before it actually actuates. Okay. So I have these at 170, and for the right stick, 100. Now, this is where the game's gonna really change. If you haven't noticed, I'm not sure if a lot of people don't pay attention, but you ever get into a gunfight and pull out your pistol and you feel like your pistol ain't shooting fast enough? It's not because your trigger finger sucks. It's because you have to press the trigger too far for the button, for the button to actually actuate. So for L2 max input threshold and R2 max input threshold, their default is 100. Lower them to 50. This allows you to kind of press the trigger, and at about 25% of the press, it'll actuate. It's going to feel a lot more responsive and more, you're going to have a better experience basically. Okay. So that's it for that. Excuse me. Wow. I'm dying. That's it for that. In the video description below, I'm going to have all the numbers in the video description. I'm going to have adjustments to your audio, your HUD, your color profile, all that good shit. But I just want to get the basic controls out the way, right? Because while Battlefield 6 is a fantastic game, the default settings are shit. And I've done all the testing. I've been FPS gaming on console for 20 plus years, and like I said, I'm a Call of Duty player. And I did my best to replicate what I would expect in a Call of Duty game in Battlefield. Right? I'm not here to start no Battlefield versus Call of Duty shit, but it is what it is. Call of Duty controls are very fucking good, and the Battlefield defaults are actual shit. So give these controls a try. I'm not claiming they're the best. I'm not a professional at this. I'm just a guy who's been gaming for fucking years. I've watched all the videos you watched. I've read all the posts you've read, and this is what I came down to. And trust me and believe, I got all my friends to kind of mimic these controls, and their Battlefield experience has gotten that much better. So tell me what you guys think. Thank you for watching my video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.